10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Evil geniuses turn to ban.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. That was a short one. We're back for game number 2. EG taking on OG here in the loser bracket finals of MDL. Game 1 was a decisive victory for EG, and they now find themselves 1 win away from a date with EG home in the grand finals. And I believe we do have a draft done, so let's waste no time. Get into it. Here we go. Same first pick for OG, but this time they are actually first overall pick. And they are going to change up their bans a lot. They ban out the Void, they have the Treant Protector. So EG are going to pull something different out if they want to deal with the OG IO again.
I'm trying to think of if our OG SUs, are there any ways they could have done the lanes differently to make sure that that sort of disaster doesn't happen again. And even OD mid might have been better for them. Still, they had the problem with Tusk. I think the Tusk kind of put them in a hole where they just lose at least 2 out of 3 lanes, and likely 3 of 3. And even if it's not 3 out of 3, it's 2 plus the jungle. So they have to make sure they don't let that happen again.
We'll see what EG do. If they want to go for their Enigma, it is available currently.
So there's no Oracle banned out yet, and Fly does have a pretty sick Oracle. So I don't know if EG wants to go for a Rider.
So if OG go for it now, it's not very appealing because Tide gets picked.
Tide also very good versus the IO. They seem to have their like anti-IO drafts. Like PPD has just like a wealth of heroes that he knows is very good versus that sort of playstyle.
It seems like they have a lot of different, like, how the draft could go based on, like, but it's all centered around that IO pick, or at least it is turning out to be the case here. So EG go with massive team fight as their counter to it, and they will block off a potential bat pick, at least to some extent. You've got the Ravage to really make life difficult when he tries to go in.
OG have done a really good job of adapting, though. I remember when they played against eHome at the Frankfurt Major, they played West Tiny, they got destroyed by an AA, and then they first banned AA and still proceeded with Wiz, and then they went on to win the game. So I think Fly's very good at realizing the actual problems in that game. For example, I don't think he'll draft offlane Tusk versus a very weak matchup for him. Banned out the Treant Protector, so they have much more kill potential on mid lane. And the bottom lane faces Void as a hero that can contribute a lot in team fights.
And is also very difficult to kill.
Yes, so Tidehunter kind of fits that same role too, so that ban actually didn't seem terribly important for them, although I think that Universe is, both of them are very, very good. Although, I don't know, he always seems to find like very good Chronospheres.
Didn't even really have to that game.
It didn't have to.
It's a nice option if you need it. So OG, they do change it up, and they will go into the no-tail gyrocopter here. So it leaves them a little more flexible in the laning stage and potent in terms of their early kill potential.
It's a hero that doesn't get affected as much by gyrocopter. You can do IO gyrocopter in the safe lane and maybe have Fly on like a Pressure Undying or like a Dazzle. Those are his 2 most comfortable heroes, I would say. I guess his Oracle is really good too.
Are you going to ban the Morphling again? I guess it is quite good against IO later on, just for the extremely heavy single target burst,
as well as heavy split push. But there's a lot of heroes like that split push well against IO and kind of are unknowable. Juggernaut comes to mind. Lifestealer, although he's not that popular. Anti-Mage. Spectre is decent. And then Morphling is also very, very good. But Morphling's far more in style than all of those others.
I think it becomes unkillable earlier, and it's a little more reliable. Just because, like, almost no matter what, you're going to be able to strength morph. Nobody's really picking many silence heroes. But In that case, the Rubik will get removed by EG, so with all these big ultimates, they don't want to have to deal with OG turning them against them.
But we'll do like a bounty hunter. Are they going to have someone like invade their jungle? They picked up the Enigma very, very early this time, realizing that that was like just their trump card for the entire early game. Black Hole 5 minutes in, as well as a mech like 7 minutes in. It's impossibly difficult for OG to deal with. And
well, the one thing, since they have the gyro, maybe OG's planning on using this to invade, since he's actually decent at level 1. Yeah. Tiny doesn't do much.
You might have issues though getting levels though. You still need that hero that scouts it out. A bounty hunter or an aggressive duel are probably the best. But I still like bounty hunter for OG, even though they don't pick it very often.
They'd better have a good laning stage of bounty, or they are just screwed. At that point, they've got very few tools to deal with the EG 5-man without advantage. EG will ban the Miracle Invoker, and I can't say I blame them. He is damn annoying on that hero, and extremely good. So now we enter the second phase. EG, they've picked up their team fight. They've got their utility backbone, and they'll be looking for some support heroes here. Or rather, a support hero, and then the Arteezy and Sumail cores. So what do they have in mind? Sumail's played a ton of Alina. It's his most played this tournament, I believe, followed by the Invoker. Arteezy's been all over the place. We've seen Lycan quite a bit for the early pushing pressure. We saw the Clinks for the jungle invading. They could go back for that.
I think Juggernaut's really good versus these two.
He did have a really good Juggernaut game yesterday as well.
I think you want a lineup that doesn't get destroyed by BKBs, and you all kind of always have to prepare for that point in the game. You can't, rely on getting 22 kills to an opponent's one and just winning the game outright. Although that's an ideal scenario, but always want backup plans. It's also just good for these two heroes. Good burst, good physical damage.
Yeah, Jugs, as we've seen repeatedly, does seem to fare very well against Gyrocopter most games too.
And it also has good roach potential, which I think EG thrive with. Yeah, as you said, the Lina is a pretty common pickup for Sumail.
Ooh.
Radiant team pick.
That's a little bit less expected. It is a hero that Fly was playing a decent amount at Frankfurt. I would doubt it's purely a block pick, but maybe that factors in here. As it would give OG a pretty good way to deal with the Enigma ultimate, even with a BKB. But now they've banned Rubik, they've picked Bane, there is very little left to counter the BKB Black Hole.
It's a very similar role to Treant Protector, where he can run around and he's like very, very strong.
And tanky, can trade hits.
And gets good vision, I think is very important too. Like PPD spent a large amount of time Nature's Skies last game just looking for wisps, looking for setups, trying to pop smokes. Like that's kind of what his role was last game. Bane's a little bit different in the fact that he's not invisible, but he can still kind of do that in the first 8 minutes because he beats anyone one-on-one. Even Gyrocopter, I guess he can kind of run away from, which most supports don't have the luxury of doing.
Now, OG, this is quite different in terms of what they're seeing now, and they are going to get a solution for that BKB Black Hole. One of the very few remaining. It's the Winter Wyvern.
Also some anti-push. They had Tiny is not that great at anti-push just because his spells are so long on cooldown. But with the Frost Blast, they can actually Splinter Shards. They can actually delay the Enigma's like T1 pushing timings very easily, which will further allow OG to potentially deal with a Roche.
I think Lina's really good here now. You've got the Wyvern, who's completely countered by her nuke damage, Gyro BKB carry that an Aghanim's Laguna can really shut down.
They can still just run Tiny Wisp though in mid and just kind of shut down Alina. It's not amazing, but without the failsafe of a tree to back them up, I think that
you can have Bane come help mid.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. It's still,
what else would Sumail play
5 seconds
in this situation?
Yeah, I guess it makes the most sense that it would be Alina.
I'm trying to think what else. Oh.
Radiant
Is it the legendary Arteezy Ember? No, it should be Sumail. Somewhat resistant to the tiny IO. Well, the early levels, the Flame Guard doesn't bring that much, but
it's good to jump on the Wisp. I remember seeing them do it at TI, I think. where they would just jump the wisp with the Ember Spirit and just burst them down like super easily.
And because the Sleight of Fist is such a wide AoE, it's really hard to position the IO where she isn't susceptible to getting hit by him. It also gives them that, you know, plan B if things don't go amazingly well early, they can back off. But OG are going to get some lockdown for the Ember, as well as something to deal with the Enigma even further. And I guess one of the best counters to Tide.
Yep. Can't crack and shell that off. So it's a rare thing that you can't crack and shell something off.
What do you think of the new Doom with the Infernal Blade? Have you seen it much?
Slightly better, I would say. It's way worse versus Lincoln's though. That's for darn sure. Because ideally you want a wolf, but other than that, I think it's really good. It does a surprising amount of damage early and late.
So, I guess he's a pretty good Iron Talon candidate as well.
Do you even need Iron Talon? You need Devour.
Devour and Iron Talon.
And Midas.
And Midas. Moon tends to play the like semi-core off-laners a little on the greedier side. He gets more Midases than most. But OG will ban the Razor here. Great against the Doom, as well as the Wyvern. Tends to build tanky. Also a Siege Engine, so what is Arteezy going to be playing now?
That's a good matchup versus the Tidehunter. The Razor is.
Well, he would be with the Tide, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, true that.
Lone Druid. Alright. Very well-rounded EG draft in the end. They go heavy team fight to start. They get some tempo control for the Ember. They've got some pick-off and single target lockdown from Bane, and now they get a little more push potential from the Lone Druid. Also good against Doom. Not a very viable Doom candidate generally.
Yeah, Lone Druid and Wraith King seem like the best two like one positions versus Doom if you're acutely worried about getting Doom. But Lone Druid's also just straight up awesome in one-on-ones, which kind of sucks when you have a AO because he can't rotate to that lane very easily. So the Racer substitute will be Viper, although not as good as the Razor.
It's a Miracle Viper, so always disappointing when you don't get to see him on those flash heroes, but this guy can play anything and do it well. So duty calls, and he'll take over a slightly more stable core in the Viper.
So will it be Miracle mid and then crit no tail the safe lane? Because I think the Viper just crushes the Ember Spirit.
And it seems like a waste to put him off lane when the Tide can just always back to the woods.
Yeah.
Or so I meant safe lane. Against the enemy off lane.
Or just TP out.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Iron Talon Tide, so.
They hardly have any ways to stop TPs on OG side. So they gotta... They hardly have a lockdown in general. They're almost purely relying on dooming the Ember to lock him down. So they gotta make sure that he doesn't have a good start.
Yeah, and there's no Hex carrier. Gyros have built Abyssal, but it's hardly common and still not very good range. So, that's an important point. They're exceedingly light on lockdown.
Still, no way to deal with that Enigma, though. That's the biggest
And they're not invading.
question mark.
They're not contesting.
They're not invading at all. But much better anti-push. Not super reliant on the Tiny, who does require some time to get online, as opposed to a Gyrocopter, who just kind of needs level 6 and level 7.
And they also have the Viper, who's a little bit more independent than OD. Tankier, harder to kill.
EG still have like much better team fight though. Like, who do you actually doom in this though? Really want to doom the Ember Spear and then
I'd say there's 3 here you have to doom. The Ember, if he's farmed, the Tide so he can't Ravage, and the Enigma so he can't crush you with the Black Hole.
And then after that though, well, Bane can just grip and just not really worry about anything too. So
well, just don't doom Arteezy. That's the cardinal rule here for OG. I'm gonna plant a ward down mid. Viper sitting there for now.
Ah, interesting. Putting Arteezy in the mid lane, expecting the Viper matchup. It's pretty smart because a farmed Ember Spirit will crush this game, whereas a farmed Lone Druid is like it's good, but it's not amazingly good because of
Arteezy taking some heavy harass here. He was trying to micro the to block Miracle from the uphill pursuit while also moving his hero back, and he does make it away. But the early pressure's in from Fly, and I mean, you mentioned having a hero this game that can offer or push, but this is also a nice aspect of the Wyvern, can actually control those lanes quite a bit early.
Yeah, so they aggro this, and it would have been fine against a Lone Druid, but it's even better, I would say, versus the Ember Spirit. So looking to let both of those heroes farm. But
this is an odd old school kind of matchup. Doom against Tidehunter 1v1. Interesting.
I think Universe should win pretty hard though, because of Anchor Smash taking away so much damage from Moon.
Yeah, good news for Moon is he'll have a lot better sustain with the extra armor from the Wildkin, so Anchor Smash won't bother him as much.
Still can't last hit though. I think that's a big problem in the one-on-one matchup. If you can't get creeps, you're going to lose out pretty heavily in the by a 10-minute mark.
And all the while, Fear is quietly doing his AFK jungle thing. Already level 3 at sub 2 minutes, so on track.
The Wyvern kind of run into their jungle too. This is something they heavily lacked last game, but with the heroes having an aggressive posture with the Wisp +1, this allows the support to actually go in there while feeling relatively safe.
Yeah, Fly did block the camp from spawning, but there's still a lot of jungle left for the old man, so we'll see where he goes at this point. I guess the big camp did not respawn in time, or he didn't kill it in time for the respawn. So he's a little limited for this minute. Trying to do it something, but it's still not a heavy commitment to shutting down the Enigma.
Oh.
In the mid lane, Arteezy 8-0 against the 10-4, 11-4 Viper, but he is very low on regen at this point, so the lane may get harder for him from here.
I mean, he has decent amount of armor. Tidehunter just crushes melee heroes in one. It's very difficult to solo that. He doesn't have a stout, so it's hard for him to trade hits.
He's getting levels at least, but Doom definitely one of those utility cores that needs farm to have an impact, and especially this when we talk about having such light disable and control, you would love to have that, mega farm 5-6 slotted Doom late game to keep the Ember and the big team fight specialists in check.
But Tide CS is getting out of control though. 23 CS versus the 15 on Doom, and I think it's only going to get worse from here.
Uh-oh. They have isolated Fly here. They've got the Malefice. Arteezy might be able to get this kill. Tries to fly over the tree, or the cliff rather, and won't even get close. EG, first blood to them on Fly.
Oh, looks like they actually... So Enigma's actually moving into the opposite side, and Sumail's getting dove on top lane.
Ember Spirit down. Now they're going to turn back for PPD maybe, but Otel pretty much out of mana. PPD gets one. The homie missile is going to stop any further pursuit, though No-Tail gets smacked by some creeps on the way out. So they lose their Ember, they get the IO, but more importantly overall, with the first blood, a 2-for-1 exchange for EG.
Yeah, that's just a great movement by Fear. He didn't have that camp to work with, and he didn't really want to go to the left side because the supports can leech and probably even steal the camps.
Oh, and now he's going bottom. The old man continues his rampage for OG. He's going to get Malefice off. Idolants get to work. Almost enough to kill him. Moon with that stick just barely surviving. But the Idolants are going to cut him off. He's got to run the other way. Where is he going to go? Scorched Earth still cooling down for 9 seconds. May corral him and finish him off with the last swing of the anchor, making it 3-1. EG getting kills everywhere.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Sumail
attack.
CS is suffering greatly though, but Gyro CS is
Oh,
great.
mid lane, Arteezy uses the uphill advantage here. He may... he gets low to the Corrosive, but he'll survive and gets the solo kill on the Viper.
Still a really good route into Roar to kind of prevent that damage up like that. I think if he doesn't get the route in a Roar, he might not get the kill. Although I guess he can just survive if he just roars and forces him to run away.
And with that, he's already got the Gloves of Haste and 700 gold, so we could be looking at a fairly decent Midas timing here. Now the Ravage committed on Moon. Universe already level 6, and Fear, these movements, unscouted and uncountered by OG, continue to create problems all over the map. On the top lane, No-Tail's gone for a dive, but the chains connect on two. Arteezy's rotated in. They're going to bring down Crit. Now looking for No-Tail. PPD's got the sleep, and this is likely to be the death of the gyro as well. There's the roar, and No-Tail is dead.
Oh wow, that's
7-1 all of a sudden. This is feeling like a rerun game number one.
He roared him, and he thought that he would run left. He actually ran
just
right.
ran right.
But
almost, well, I wouldn't say saved him, but almost helped him out there.
This game kind of shows Feeder's versatility in his game-to-game play. Like, first game...
He's playing the same hero with an unwarded jungle, but he's completely changed up his play after that Wyvern blocked his camp.
Level 6 at 6 minutes. 1 kill, 2 assists, and securing first blood for Arteezy, making sure that he can actually just get a straight one-on-one with the Viper, getting 2 consecutive kills on Doom. And of course securing the early farm for Universe. So Universe, I don't think is going to go for a mech this game because he had Enigma on his
team. Trying to gank mid here, the Doombrainer. Coming in from behind, he's got the net and the Scorched Earth, but the Roar is going to block the Viper from chasing in, so Moon can get the job done. Very good bear control again. They'll commit instead, the Viper straight out to PPD, who may have Aggie this one. He turns out with a Brain Sap, they get the root on Moon, and that's the death of the Doom, most likely trying to heal up, he won't make it. Tether in too late, they've lost the Viper as well too, and then it's Fear again, another rotation, almost killing off just with the Black Hole. They need a little more dash from Universe, they get it with one last anchor swing. EG on point with every rotation and shutting OG down everywhere they turn. They just cannot find uncontested kills.
Well, yeah, the early movements from Fear just demolished the Doom. He wasn't level 6 when he had that gank on Arteezy, or else Arteezy would have fell a lot earlier, and then he wouldn't have gotten rooted, and then he wouldn't have died. So, like, all these things are just slowly adding up for EG. And
it seemed like he just got so, you know, it's like I can't get anything done bottom, so I have to go do something else, but as you said, not level 6 yet. Now he is, but... OG got a lot of catching up to do.
I think PPD's also, like, been, like, in the right place at the right time.
He's gonna scout out Moon here. Does have the Doom ready, pops it on PPD, No-Tail might have to commit a call down for the one as well, and he will. It does hit him once. Even with that, is it enough for the kill? The chains come out onto 2. Sumail thwarting them. No additional rotations, and the Doom won't be enough. So the first Doom and call down, both unable to net a kill here for OG. Meanwhile, Arteezy Midas not too far off, has the gloves in 600. And Universe gets to work bottom lane, finding Flyout, who drops very easily to the physical damage of the Eidolons. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, PPD holding the line, but with no Doom. There's not much Moon can offer. It just seems like everywhere that OG go, they can play. EG either are already set up or rotate too quickly to allow it. Constantly anticipating their movements and counterplaying them beautifully.
Even before that, it started with the lane base, with them putting that mid matchup with the LD versus the...
Moon's like desperate to find something here. He's really diving Sumail. Does force out the defense remnant, the tie TP from Universe. He was ready to assist that with the Ravage, but we'll end up canceling.
He has the cloak creep. I don't know if he meant to eat that. I've heard some Doom players are like, oh, do I really want to eat that magic resistance creep? Okay, he switched it very quickly. The Shockwave.
Maybe just eating whatever he can. Yeah, Doom is... I guess he's got decent amount to hit the mango on the stick.
They need more damage, that's for sure, especially with the mech coming out very soon. So, what is Wisp level? I think their gank will be a lot better once he hits level 6.
He's been rotating a lot in response to EG, so I don't imagine he's too high. Double mech.
Oh, Peter.
Coming out now, and then from the side comes Universe, gets the backstab OG, the call down is there in a decent location by No-Tail, but he needs some follow-up to this, and the mech is going to negate a lot of what they bring to bear. Fear trying for the TP out now after popping the mech, they get the Rudo Miracle, locking him in position, but the Wyvern is there to heal him up. Good counterplay from OG, can they finally get some kills? Universe, no, he's going to survive through this, everyone healthy, and in the end, Miracle does end up falling. The second round of aggression from EG nets them a 3rd kill. OG, still no ults on their supports. And not able to turn these fights. The mech came at the perfect time for the Enigma.
The teamwork from OG has been vastly different from their last series versus OG. I think the last time it was they had like Drow and some heroes like that where Arteezy was just off solo split pushing a lot. But even from the very early game where he TP top to help out against the dive from the IO and the gyro, like this time he was there to help his team. He roared the Viper the Enigma could TP away. Like, he's just integrated a lot better than the other day that we just saw him play.
Oh, Fear. He walked uphill, and he walks into the Doom. Can Moon finally get a kill? He really needs it. But coming in to help him out is PPD. Could go for the sleep, and if he needs to, the deny. I think Fear lives through this without being denied. Then can Mech and turn it. Moon going in, but he's going to get gripped. He's overextended. It's a bridge too far. The off-laner of OG, and likely to go down with 3 heroes surrounding him and finishing him off. Moon gets baited in too far and will pay. Miracle's about to get jump mid. Lone Druid as well as the Ember leaping forward. They get the chains off and then the root follow-up that combined with the roar as well. Miracle completely locked down. He pop his mech, not gonna make it out. And the cores for OG continue to hemorrhage kills. Goal experience as EG now take this as a sign to march down mid. Black hole ready to go.
No man left behind is EG's motto. 3 heroes on bottom. Oh, they see one lone hero out of mid. Everyone tries to swing mid and always overcommitting to kills, making sure that OG can't get any sort of pickoffs to get back into the game.
And that is not the first time we've seen Moon really pressing to find something. After the way the bottom lane, he's just been forcing it, and EG have been ready.
Relocate finally online for the crit. So with that, plus Winter's Curse, plus Doom, they can likely get a kill. The question is, how much is EG going to get in return?
Yeah, Ember, great counter ganker. You've had Black Hole online. Tide now has a bullet. Oh.
What did Ember spy? Did he go tread strums or phase like he normally does? Good old Sumail.
Ember Spirit. Hey, what did Ember Spirit go for? Okay. He's saving up his gold for now.
Guess he was just bottle crawling or something. He's still actually a little poor, but not that big of a deal as long as he fights with his team and gets levels. Very low on CS, but not terribly important.
Moon marching about here in the mid lane.
How's Arteezy's?
They're ready to fight anything that OG throws their way. He's already got Midas.
So this is just much different play than some of the other lone druids, and even Arteezy's own lone druid.
Even the wards aren't theirs.
This blink, I think, is going to crush them, though. I don't think they scouted out at all.
Oh, they just smoked on EG. Looking to jump in here. The Savage any second now, quite likely to come in, and there you go. He lets it fly. The Black Hole's there as well. It's on to 3. It's up to 5. He does get up the curse to try and turn the fight, but already the Gyros did. They maul down their Enigma. Still, Miracle will pay for this. It's going to be a 2-for-1, even with a good reaction there from the Wyvern. It just wasn't fast enough, but Sumail's not done yet. He's going to chase looking for that 3rd kill as Fly backs away. Io getting picked off elsewhere will be brought down by the Universe Tile. It's a 3 Dewdrop in the end. EG, I mean, OG reacted quickly, but it just wasn't fast enough.
Good curse, though. It was I think it was very high low, so them getting that 1 kill in response to 2 is still pretty decent for them. Sometimes you'll see the count sleep to Winter's Curse, but I think PvD's like, I just wanna, like, if he's gonna die regardless, I just want them to get out of the curse as soon as possible so we can continue on and get other kills. And he gripped a pretty high priority target to Hyper in his own right.
And this has given Arteezy a lot of breathing room now with the success of the utility and support heroes of EG. He's been relatively contested. He's farming away towards that Radiance. Well, no tell. It's going to go into a Yasha. Curious if it will be the SY or that to build up.
What's Doom's creep? Does he still have a satyr on the Doom? They need some sort of way to catch people. Like if they don't have a golem or something like that.
I'm going to find PPD here up in the top lane. No-Tell running him down, but backup's coming from the Ember Spirit to the south side, as well as to the north. TP from the Tide on. They're going to get the Doom here onto PPD, but Universe, the man in front, Moon. Backing away now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And they will end up getting the kill. Comes at the cost of an objective. Here to bottom, under heavy siege. Though they TP out, they are light on the ultimates. They do have the Winter's Curse ready though.
They can get destroyed here. They actually have to be super careful. I don't think they had eyes on Sumail or the Tide Hunter. Actually, Tide Hunter I think is revealed mid right now.
Oh, good roar there by Arteezy. Nets him the tower and some very close to Radiance. He's trying to get that bear out safely. Can return it. Oh, even the 300 gold and experience denied.
Wow, I thought we were going to relocate though. I think that was one of the best chances that OG is going to get.
They were missing most of their ultimates there. I guess that's why they didn't.
Yeah, sometimes I have to take that risk though, because Black Hole's like super long cooldown, and Ravage is also pretty long cooldown, so you kind of want to fight when they blow 2 for only 2 kills in the mid lane.
PPD moving in on No Tail and flying. They are being scouted out mid as well by the Dire Observer Ward. Let's see if PPD finds a jump. Not gonna happen. Meanwhile, Doom and Ember just trading farm up in the top lane.
OG have very good vision around this area of the map.
Ooh, Sumail making a pretty jump forward there. And backing off to the top lane. Moon is taking a risk being this far out, but he does have backup heading this way. Io, as well as Gyro. With the lane ward, he feels fairly safe.
Going for auras now. We see the Vlad's coming out on Doom very soon. If they can manage to get like a very key kill on a Tidehunter or something like that, they can sneak in a Roche and get back into the game that way. I think that's a good way to play.
Oh, Doom has been caught out here and finished off by Sumail. Jumps back and with the Flame Guard gets the job done.
So you notice they TP in. The guy's dead, but they still have to be scared and prepared for a relocate response. So again, EG, I don't want to say overcommitting. They're just very wary of what EG's way into game is, which is like, you know, 5 maining 1 hero, expecting EG to, you know, come in with a Black Hole or Ravage, but not enough heroes there to execute them up, and then they will respond. So EG still in this tight little ball.
This is going to be an Aegis. EG, massive lead here in terms of experience as well as gold, and they are going to grab the Roshan. So, an Aegis for Arteezy, it looks like.
They need to make use of the relocate though. They're getting okay farm around the map, all things considered, but they still haven't been able to connect on enough kills. Only the stray kill here and there. And the last one was on Peter, which is not a great kill for them. So they're farming very well on their top lane though. Like these 2 camps they've been able to utilize far more than they should be able to.
So what's a blink burst for Sumail this game?
Blink burst?
Yeah. Not a... Normally we don't see blink first. It's like Battle Fury and then blink.
This is gonna get caught out, but he can get caught out by Curse during nighttime. That's kind of the only thing I would say he's vulnerable to at this point. Curse into Doom.
EG smoking up here. Looks like they want to try and force that tier 1. Meanwhile, the Lone Druid sitting back mid. No Tail and Crit moving towards him. They're going to deploy a homing missile onto the bear here, but Tide marching down. He is still smoked, and Universe looks like he wants to leap in. Gets the Ravage off, connects on 2. Crit will be brain sapped down instantly, and they're going to find No Tail as well. Caught out by the bear, tries to run too late, and down he goes. Universe pushing himself away. And that is the Radiance up. Resummoning bear. They are definitely looking at the tier 1 top. EG. Maybe they're even going to look for this additional kill on the Wyvern. No, he's back away. But good luck defending right now if you're OG. No gyro, no call down, and 2 are like just 2 off of this.
Yeah, one of those ways to play around relocate is just simply to kill the to gank people they might be looking to. So
by the way, we have a pipe up in the Enigma. Is extremely high.
It is kind of a way to he can't set anything up for their team. Like he's gonna to EG's push eventually, but like how's he gonna set up kills for them? How's he gonna make plays? How's he gonna get them back into the game? All he can really do is to corrode, which is.
Well, we've seen games that looked really bad for OG, but Miracle just played super scrappy, dragged out the game, and it around as they begin to see the how but the bear drop. Arteezy already summoned, so I think this pushes over OG.
They're locking him with down. They do the pipe though, which is a very strong toolkit to deal with.
Yeah, it's not everything that they need Miracle to play. Oddly, you know, very at this point expected. Oh, AKA or you know, single-handedly carrying the team kind of game. It's nice for when have that. You just don't have to with Viper. He never win the game on his own.
You know, EG tried his best with game, so like Viper and Razor. I think they tried to and after that, never ever again.
They also did it when Arteezy was playing Sumail's TI4, and it usually didn't work. It wasn't Arteezy winning them the game. You know, it was the overall strategy around it that would win them the game.
Yeah, I view that sort of hero way more suited for teams like eHome, I think, who are just very good at playing 5-man and don't really like that option of the late as a backup player because they're so. Oh, Moon's stuck.
Hey, man. How you doing, baby? Oh, that's sad. Oh, he does get the center top. Sumail pops in and collects the kill, going live to Universe. Meanwhile, Bot and Arteezy did for the relocate, and they might be setting up here. I think Crit's just going to have to take this one for the team. Yeah, No-Tail's already sprinting towards the top lane. So they will be the precious IO. A lot of dead heroes. Just keep
Up there. The super.
How much do you like the Aghanim Tide? Think better options?
Depends. For head, better, but really for high ground, falling. It's like super long wave that you're not going to get caught out as the dead from being able to clear, and the minus armor is also really good when you have someone like Ember Spirit on your team. So it's decent. It's not like they need the Ravages to win team fights or defend the high ground.
Defend? That's not an OG. That's not an EG's vocabulary, right? Let's be serious. This is an all-out offensive. So they do have the. How long do they have the Aegis for? I didn't actually catch that. Oh, it's about to expire. So certainly no rush for EG. They've got still great late game in their own right, but they may look for something here on Moon. Black Coal is available if they would commit it, but I don't know where the Wyvern is right now. So let's do Mail Jump X. He's going to remnant himself forward. They're turning on him with the Doom, but then there's the Blake. The Ridge Universe connects on the few. EG not quite having the firepower just yet. They lock on to Moon with the Bear, but it's very slowed down. Being controlled. I see Miracle get off the Roar and forces OG back. Very good hold there from OG. They get out most of their ultimates aside from the Doom, and without giving up any casualties. Still EG want to push though. They've got the Black, they still have the Fiend's Grip, and they still have the Bear. Ready to rock and roll. Malefice onto No-Tail. He is being helped out a little bit. And still he drops very low. The Radiance Bird continues to get the work. The Curse is too late. It will lose it. They try to turn EG against each other, but T is just way too tanky. Sumail only tickles him. Viper Strike coming in. He's going to look to dodge that one and turn this around. Miracle tanky, but barely on the data. Not able to finish anyone from EG off. The Glimmer Cape comes through, keeping Fear alive a little bit longer, and they are going to heal themselves up. Look to turn. They still have the Black Hole. The Fiend's Grip. Moon alive for now, but surrounded. The Bear is about to drop. Is that going to be enough less damage to get OG out safely? Looks like it is. EG still sticking around, and finally the hole comes through. Crit. No easy way to get him out. They'll kill off the IO. They also managed to bring down the Doom. EG very patient on this siege, and now barreling down, looking for full lane of racks. They force the buyback. The IO. Catch out fly here, Sumail. Maybe a little bit too far. Viper damage second. PPD unleashes that last final tool of the arsenal. The Fiend's Grip is on to Miracle, and they keep him off. He pops them at the IO heals. It's enough to keep him alive. Miracle survives through it all for now. Another jump forward from Sumail. Not able to finish him off, and so close to dropping 40 HP. He does live, but No-Tail not so lucky. He's surrounded. This IO can't keep the whole team alive, and they do lose the Gyrocopter. A godlike Universe. 20 more minutes in. EG are leading this one by a landslide, 28-5.
So bad on lockdown from OG. No ways to stop a solo Black Hole. They couldn't stop like the grip from the Bane inside their own base, and just very limited what OG's toolkit can do. I'm very surprised that he Winter's cursed Arteezy, because Arteezy is very tanky. There was a Sumail standing right next to him, and Sumail might have dropped to all the right click because he has much less armor as well as much less HP. But good choice with the lads from Lone Druid. Very standard through the Radiance, but still nice to have that armor. Just buff your up as possible. So you lose no one in team fights, and PG still playing very
solid. So solid. The whole game plan, everyone's individual play has been on point.
They've been concentrating a lot on not dying, though, and playing to the, which is the thing you actually don't see very often from EG.
And they're itemizing to support it now. We're seeing the early pipe pickup on Fear. He does go back for Medallion to throw on the Bear. Imagine Solar Crest is in order at some point this game, and you know EG's 5-man is just overwhelming. even when I feel like OG pretty much played that whole 5-minute or 3 to 5 minute sequence perfectly, but because EG have the advantage in the right items, it's impossible to win a fight.
And there's a few things that's like the early pickup before the Battle Fury is like a more defensive thing as opposed to any more damage. The BKB as opposed to a Chrysalis after the Dezo.
Mid lane, Viper in danger now, gonna get jumped by the Embers. Spells arrived and the long range Gush comes in, battering him with the waves of death. Miracle will fall. Oh, no buyback. And that might just, in fact, probably will be at least one lane of Rex, but they're not actually going for it yet. They're rotating the top lane, Gyrocopter, and Io duking it out right now with the Bear. No tail through the tree goes. They're going to Glimmer the Bear, let it get in ready. Io just TP's home, has no save at this point available. Crit is going to be lost, and they also lose Gyro.
I don't know if PPD knew that the Wiz was about to relocate, but he made the Gyro invulnerable during the relocate portion, so that he couldn't actually tether to him. If so, that was just sick timing, PBD.
What's the window on that one?
1 second.
It's like 1 second,
yeah.
so that's tight one. They do find CL, but I don't know if EG need him to break the base here. Moving in here in the top lane, the Blink Ravage comes through, catches up, locks down Hotel. I always know relocate crit in the thick of it, and he's gonna go down with the ship. 3 of 1. Wyvern next, that's the part of EG hammering OG. They've got them on the ropes, and very likely, almost certainly at this point, are have a date with home. Look for some revenge here. They cruise through the racks. The low bracket Kings pull it off again. They have made a massive run here, all the way from the beginning bracket in the grand finals of MDL, where EHOM, Lanham, and crew will be waiting to face them this day in a best of 5. And they have finally taken win against OG.
Standard E, lower bracket champion. So, not decent. But
well, they did win the summit coming from the winner bracket. That was the only time.
That be a warning for